Hey everybody, it's Daryl. I just want to walk you through steps for week 2 agenda. Is getting pushed out today on Monday, July 18th. Lots to uncover this week. Thanks for your participation, in particular, your participation in the Twitter chat or I should say, Twitter activity in hashtag AMLA604. It's been fun to see these conversations starting. A couple that I wanted to highlight. One is Kind Katie shared out some resources that are actually from one of the co-authors of the differentiation book from Don't Ditch That Tech. So I don't know if you realize that or not, but that's a tweet that is directly connected to one of the co-authors on that text. Caleb did a nice job of sharing out some more C's, just like what we need as we're language teachers, more C's. But I think this is really important for us to be thinking about when we want to foster innovation, is that we should be thinking about things like, yes, creativity and commitment, but then also being cognizant of cultural sensitivity. Lesson 2.0 is something that we're going to actually do together in steps on Thursday in real time for those whose schedules permit. These are the things that I want to kind of prime the pump with on Monday in 2.1, day 2.1, is be thinking about what is an existing lesson from 600, from AMLA 600. If you're not a part of that course or haven't yet taken the course for whatever reason, think about an existing lesson for which you have lesson plan documentation, because you're going to be asked to post two lesson plans, the original and then the updated version of that. Consider what kind of a task. A friend of mine, Lauren, talks about leading with the task. Do you want kids to take in more resources designed for L1 speakers with authentic resources? Do you want to have kids in an interpersonal mode chatting up about comparisons about what they wear to school, what they wear to parties, what they wear with their family? Be thinking about what task that you have in mind that you want to then leverage. Now, some resources that are listed here, one that you're already familiar with, Meredith White's resources that she shared. The second one here, Leslie Gran, has a really nice blog that is that it has many kinds of resources. It's worth exploring. Specifically, she has ones for authentic resources, which I would highly suggest. 40 Ways that Students Showcase Mastery is some work that my colleague and I, Kevin Bross, adapted from a presentation from the Elk River School District at a TIES conference, now called Sourcewell Conference, Sourcewell Learning. Those are different ways that students can showcase mastery. You're going to notice that these resources have a heavy emphasis on student-centered activities, and that's really meaningful. And then resources from me that I've shared from my time as an education consultant. Those are divvied up and organized by mode of communication. So you're going to see tasks that are listed, handouts, screencasts, links to the actual resource or the application that are all done specifically by mode of communication, including portfolio, digital portfolio, if that's something that interests you. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions about any of the resources. There is an option to use either a differentiation or an accommodation in the final assessment, the micro teach. If you're thinking about going the differentiation route, these are going to be some rich resources for you. I'm going to leave some audio on this page in particular that kind of guide you through my process of working through differentiation specific to world languages. And then I had an opportunity to design a differentiated lesson that a colleague at another institution that I taught at, we both taught Spanish 1 the same hour. So we kind of combined our 30 students totaling 60. And then 3 days into a unit, we decided who's already showing mastery in the learning targets that we had in mind. And then we separated those kids, those 60, into what we called a rehearsal group and a mastery group. And now we were pushing the mastery students who already knew the content to maybe thinking about an enrichment activity. And then the rehearsal kids just needed more opportunities to showcase mastery, additional content, different approaches to teaching content. And it was a great way to have kids all meet those learning targets, but they just did it in a very different way, whether they were in rehearsal or mastery. So look for more audio content there. Readings for 2.1 are listed there. 2.2, 2.3, those are the same as the what are described in the syllabus. Please share your digital portfolio here. Now, this is only a checkpoint. I'm not asking that you have your digital portfolio done. In fact, your lesson 2.0 and your micro teach are going to be the bulk of what you share, embedding slides, adding links, adding context. Basically, it should be a skeleton at this point, and maybe a couple of items from the tab of the innovation page. You might want to include your Twitter bio now. But I'm asking you to add your digital portfolio link by clicking in there. We already have one student that has hers in. Kudos to that person. Live synchronous on Thursday on the 21st, starting at 10 a.m. We're going to walk through the steps of lesson 2.0 together. I think you're going to find lesson 2.0 to be less formal and less structured as microteach. But definitely as valuable. And we're going to walk through, actually, you're going to find that the readings from the cold text to be very timely. Chapter 7 in particular is going to feel very timely. So again, I can't hint enough to be on track. I've done my best to sync the readings. Again, we want to pair those up with the task here, lesson 2.0, and walking through the Triple E framework. I have a meeting ID and a bilingual password here, chocolate or chocolate. You'll use that to get in. Speaking of Zoom, I'm still working with our tech integrationist over at, in AMLA department in Concordia to kind of help me tease through some of those details of when people will schedule their micro teach and create the groups, which will also unfold on Thursday also. So more to come. Thanks for being patient on that. 2.5 readings there. And then the last thing I'm asking for you to do for the week of formally is to do an audio reflection. Now, when I got the syllabus for this course from the previous instructor, they had daily reflections, and I want to give people time to view the content, to do the readings, to hear ideas, to explore people's digital portfolios, to get those ideas going, for example, on Thursday when we're going to talk about lesson 2.0. And I want us to use tech integration tools in a contextualized manner. I can't say that enough. So for this one, I'm asking you to respond to 6 prompts using the steps here. Then there's a link here to the online voice recorder. It happens to be the same tool that is listed on the syllabus as one of those apps, extensions, and links. Super easy. Here are kind of the 4 steps. When you get to the site, you're going to press record, click on stop when you're done, click on save, and you're going to notice on a Mac user, it just goes right to the downloads for it. That's what it looks like anyway in Chrome. I highly suggest that you use Chrome. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like on the Mac side. So what are you noticing so far about the course? What do you prioritize pedagogically? You might want to borrow those ideas from your Twitter bio activity from day 1.1. Describe one specific connection that you're making between this course and another one in the program. What's your big takeaway so far? I'm curious to know what your takeaway is and share more about that. And then what's one example how you'd like to use this same task, the audio activity? What would you want to capture? What would you want kids to record themselves doing Is it an exchange with a partner, and why? Is it describing about their week? Tell me more about that. Not in terms of a fleshed out lesson plan, but in terms of a, 30 to 60 seconds. This is what I would want to capture in my French class, in my Chinese class, etc. So those are the steps so far. Reach out if you have any questions. Make time for yourself. I know that a lot of people are cranking out on content, and I appreciate that. I had a chance to get away this weekend, and I hope that you make time this summer to disconnect a little bit, to make time for things that you are passionate about, to reach out to somebody that you haven't had coffee with or dinner with in a long time. I'm feeling recharged, refreshed, and ready to finish strong here in weeks 2 and 3 together officially before deadlines really become more solidified. So I just wanted to invite you to think about, yes, finishing strong, but also making time to make sure that it still feels balanced. Reach out early if you have questions. Consider when your check-in might be. I've got 2 on the docket for today at 1:30 and 2 o'clock. I look forward to connecting with you all and learning more about your goals, and to find out how can we meet and exceed those goals while my dog is barking at the next visitor through the garage door, just getting back home from swim lessons. Take care, everybody.